Imagine you're the best engineer alive. Laser levels. Jeeps cranes that lift 1,200 tons. Now someone points to a single block of stone perfectly cut, perfectly flat, 1,650 tons. Your cranes can't touch it. Your drills slow down on it. Your team goes quiet. That block exists. Lebanon. Cut by human hands. Thousands of years ago. That's number 6 on this list. 7 structures. 7 places where modern engineering has no answer. Each one harder than the last. And by number 7, the tools we use to study it start breaking. Let's go. Megalithic, Southeast Turkey. 1994 archaeologist. Klaus Schmidt digs into an ordinary limestone hill. 40 feet down, something massive. Stone pillars. T-shaped, perfect circles. Carved from bedrock and raised by hand. Dating result, 11,500 years. The Great Pyramid is 4,500 years old. Göbekli Tepe is 7,000 years older than that. Built before farming. Before cities. Before the wheel existed anywhere on Earth. The builders were nomadic. Hunter-gatherers. Flint blades. Animal rope. No metal. No writing. The tallest pillars, 18 feet high, 10 tons each. Covered in carvings, lions, serpents, vultures, three-dimensional, life-size, cut into dense limestone with flint alone. Then geometry revealed something nobody expected. The 3 main enclosures sit at exact vertices of a perfect equilateral triangle. Precise, deliberate, laid out without a single measuring tool that had been invented yet. When construction ended, the builders buried it themselves, sealed it underground. It stayed hidden for 11,500 years. Less than 10% has been uncovered. The rest is still down there. A man renovating his basement swings a hammer at the wall. It collapses inward. Behind it, a tunnel, then a room, then another tunnel. 18 times over, straight down, 280 feet underground. A 25-story building, flipped upside down, drilled into solid volcanic rock. Derinkuyu held 20,000 people. Stables, kitchens, chapels, schools, wine cellars. 15,000 ventilation shafts feeding air to every floor. Each level sealed by a circular stone door. Up to 1,100 pounds, rolling shut from the inside. Smooth on the outside. No handle. No grip. Sealed meant sealed. Over 200 similar complexes exist in this region. An 8-kilometer tunnel connects Derinkuyu to a neighboring underground city. No document explains who started it. No record of how. Picture doing this by torchlight. Solid rock above you. 280 feet of depth to keep perfectly level. No good explanation exists for that. Picture. High Andes. 12,500 feet elevation. The fortress of Sacsayhuaman has walls unlike anything else on Earth. Irregular limestone blocks, each a different shape, fitted together without mortar, without filler. The largest weigh 200 tons, quarried 22 miles away across gorges and rivers without horses, iron, or wheels. A Spanish chronicler in the 1500s wrote, "The point of a pin could not be inserted between the stones." Laser instruments confirmed it centuries later. Zero clearance. Literally. 3 major earthquakes since the Spanish arrived. Their stone churches collapsed. These walls did not move. The Inca said a divine serpent transformed the workers into the stones themselves. 5 centuries of engineering theory hasn't beaten that story yet. What's next was found underwater, and scientists still can't agree on the most basic question about it. 1986, diver Kahacharo Aratake drops below the surface near Yonaguni Island. At 80 feet, he stops. A stone platform the size of a city block. Flat terraces stepping downward, right angles, a vertical face rising 90 feet from the seafloor. What looks like a carved staircase going deeper, 150 meters long, sandstone, shaped into geometry that nature does not casually produce. 2 geologists examined it. Opposite conclusions, man-made versus natural erosion. That argument is still open. Here's what both sides agree on. The last time Yonaguni was above water was 10,000 years ago, when Ice Age sea levels sat 300 feet lower. If it's man-made, the builders predate every civilization we have a name for. Egypt, Mesopotamia, all of it. We can't even confirm whether it's artificial. That uncertainty alone says something about how incomplete our picture really is. You've seen the photo? You haven't sat with the numbers. 2.3 million blocks. 1 structure. Tallest building on Earth for 3,800 straight years, longer than the gap between ancient Rome and right now. The granite beams in the King's Chamber, 80 tons each, hauled 500 miles upriver from Aswan. The base covers 13 acres. Height variation across that entire base, less than 1 inch. That is laser-level skyscraper tolerance, achieved 4,500 years ago. The 4 faces align to true north, south, east, west. Error margin, 3 arc minutes, 38 seconds, more accurate than the Greenwich meridian when it was officially established in 1851. The internal shafts point precisely at 3 stars Orion's belt, Sirius, Thuban, at their exact positions 4,500 years ago. No blueprint, no construction record, not a single papyrus describing how. 2 structures remain. The weight of what's coming is not a metaphor. We opened with a 1,650-ton stone in Lebanon. Now you're ready for the full picture. The quarry outside Baalbek has 3 of them. The stone of the pregnant woman, 1,000 tons, 65 feet long, 1 perfectly flat face, still in the hillside, never moved. The stone of the south, 1,242 tons, fully exposed, abandoned mid-project. Found in 2014, buried beneath both, 1,650 tons, the largest worked stone ever recorded on Earth. All 3 cut for a project that was never finished. Above the quarry, the Roman Temple of Jupiter, built centuries later, but locked. In its foundation, the Trilithon. 3 blocks, 750 tons each, already in place when the Romans arrived. Raised 65 feet, fitted perfectly. The Romans didn't put them there. Different weathering, different stonework. They built on top of something already ancient. Mark Twain stood here and wrote, "The history of this place is a tightly closed book." Still closed. The last structure breaks. The instruments used to study it, literally. 12,600 feet above sea level. 30% less oxygen in every breath. No trees. No timber. Brutal open plateau. Thesis Puma Panku. And this one sits in its own category. The heaviest blocks, 130 tons. Sandstone quarry, 6 miles uphill. But the andesite, the hard stuff, came from across Lake Titicaca, 90 kilometers. Andesite is harder than most metals. Modern diamond drill bits work it slowly and wear out fast. The blocks at Puma Panku were not worked slowly. 90-degree corners accurate too. Fractions of a millimeter. Surfaces that reflect light like polished glass. H-shaped components that interlock like machine parts. Through holes bored at consistent 6mm intervals. Across every block on the site, copper alloy clamps found embedded in the joints. They had metal. They used it. And still produced this. Mainstream dating, around 500 AD. Some researchers argue 12,000 years. The gap between those 2 answers is larger than all of recorded history. The Inca came later and had no answer either. Their tradition says only, the gods built this. One night. The stone remains. The method does not. 7 structures, 6 countries, possibly 12,000 years of questions. Every textbook draws history as a straight rising line, primitive to advanced. These sites break that line. They point to something most academics won't say plainly. Sophisticated knowledge existed and was lost, not gradually, abruptly, leaving almost nothing behind except the weight of the stone itself. We have satellites now, laser instruments, titanium drill bits, and we are still catching up to people who had none of that. Not a myth, not a theory. The stones are there. Go measure them yourself. Their names are gone. Their methods are gone. But the work held through earthquakes, centuries, and everything else history threw at it. The stones are still standing. One question before you go. Which of these 7 do you think deserves its own full video? Drop it below. The most requested one gets made next. If this is the kind of question that keeps you up at night, subscribe. Every video goes somewhere the textbooks don't, because the further you look back, the less the official version holds.